Emily. I make home education videos with my 6-year-old daughter Rosie. We kind of forgot to film this week except for one new place that I made myself find because I get quite bad anxiety about, like, we don't live on a very good street for parking, so I get anxiety about finding new places but also parking when we get back. So it's it's very, very annoying. So I'm making myself go out and actually find places and just really kind of like hoping, manifesting a space when we get back. We are going to have a good space. So I thought I'd make today's video, it will include that so you can see the new space we found, but also about the mental health for parents who are home editing, especially if you're doing it on your own. Because whether I think women understand more because there are more of us doing it, but that's not to say there aren't single dads doing this. So that's not saying this is exclusive to women. It's also not having a go at anybody that can't help in the same way, but we all know it takes a village to raise a child, and we've lost that sense of community even within families where the 50, 60, maybe 80 years ago, because I forget what year we're in now. I still think like 10 years ago was the 1990s, and it's, or 2000 at the very least, and it's not. Makes you feel old. But there used to be a time when you had a child, you knew, and you had an understanding that the grandparents knew, oh great, a grandkid, I'm going to get to babysit, I'm going to get to do this, oh I'll have them for a weekend for you and stuff like that. We don't have that anymore. We have a lot of people, they've upped the retirement age. We have a lot of people who still have to work, so they don't have the available time to do it. We also have some grandparents now that are just, that's not what I'm for. That's not their view on it, is what I mean. Our values have changed as to what families are and do for each other. And I was seriously born in the wrong time period, because I am totally an agreement with the families that used to be kind of like, oh, you need someone to watch your kids for an hour. Yeah, we're free that day. Well, yeah, we'll have them. As an auntie or whatever, especially if you live close enough to be able to do that. I mean, you can't help it if your kids move to a different country, you can't help out. But becoming a parent myself, when Rosie needs help when she has a baby, I know what she needs, and I know if I'm able to offer it, I won't be abandoning her to navigate it on her own, because I know there are loads of self-help books to become a parent these days. Some of them really aren't helpful, and some of them are more helpful, but every child is an individual and every parent is an individual, and you kind of have to find your own way. So I mean, I think the best advice is just study a bit of child psychology and child development, so that you understand how your child learns at different ages, so that you can help them process things without expecting too much. And always realize that the child can't adapt, so you have to. So if something's not working, you need to change your method and your strategy, because they're not old enough to do that if they're little ones. So I thought what we'd share today is how I relax and ground myself again, which is one of the things I actually do. I love walking. So number one, I love walking around barefoot. If I can get out in nature and do it, like the garden, not stones, but like paving slabs, grass. I even do it just around the house. Take your shoes and socks off, just feel the ground, feel the earth. Grounding is so good for you, and it actually makes you sleep better as well. So that's number one. Number two is go for a walk. If it's sunny, or whatever the weather, but especially if it's sunny, get out in the sunshine, because the sunshine does so much for our mental health as well. Vitamin D is so good for you. Absorbed through the skin is the best way, just like magnesium is best absorbed through the skin, which also helps you feel happy as well. So yeah, make sure you get out in the sunshine from fresh air, because exercise always makes us feel better anyway, in general. If you have a good friend you can have a whinge to, moan to, laugh with, that's number three. Go and have a good time with a friend. I had a friend of mine invite me to the rugby on Friday night at her house, and I don't think I saw much of the rugby match, but we had such a laugh. There was a lot of giggling going on, and it was just so nice to be out having an adult conversation and a laugh. So yeah, laughing as well. So, and number 4 is going to be taking some just time for yourself, relax. If you can meditate, sit in the quiet. If you can't meditate, because some people find it really, really tricky just to sit quietly, dance to some music. Put some really great music on and just dance to it so that you just get it out. I always notice when certain songs come up, I can't help it. I've got to sing, I've got to move my body, and it just makes me feel better. So notice those songs and make yourself a playlist. So when you're like, I feel really, really rubbish, you can just listen to that playlist. And the 5th one, which is probably the most personal one to me, to share, is journaling, but not just journaling. So a lot of people know journaling is at the end of the day, you write down 10 things you're grateful for, and you kind of like, you brain dump. You put everything that went on in that day onto a piece of paper so you can go to sleep at night and it's not going round. So you might make yourself a list of to-do things for the next day, a list of goals and stuff. That is basic journaling. What you did that day. You might even want to make a list of what subjects you covered so you can think, yeah, we did home ed today. We covered, we didn't do sit down formal, we did it. I journal, but I journal in a slightly different way because I do that. But I also, if I've got things bothering me or something going on in my life it's kind of hard to explain. So I write stories where I personify problems, or I write stories about people that are causing me issues, or whether good, bad, whatever. I write stories and I put them down and I let their characters develop and I let the story develop and I push them a certain way, and I learn about myself, because if I have a character that I thought, oh, I really thought we were friends, and as I'm writing, I might actually write down things that I didn't notice we were talking about that I'm like, oh, that's not very nice. Why did they do that? And then it makes me think, hang on a second, maybe this is the universe's way of saying you were better off without them, because I hadn't noticed that the first time round. Or like, I write a lot about someone in my past who I wonder what if about, and they keep coming up in a lot of stories. And one of them I brought in a new character all about energy and the universe, but I ended up killing the new character off and keeping the what if guy. So that means I've still got something going on with my past that I can't let go of. So those of you who are into psychology and stuff, you might be thinking, oh yeah. So it says a lot about me, and it says if I can put it into a story and take the story where I want, I find that really helps. I find it really, really therapeutic. If you don't like writing, I recommend you do try it though, because if you want to learn more about the world, read, but if you want to learn more about yourself, write. It's amazing what comes out when you write. So even if you're a diction person, and then you can read it back off a screen or something, or type it. I'm a physical person, I'm a tactile person. I like to write. I have a pen in my hand. I like to write on the paper. I like to form the letters. I'm not a big fan of typing, not a big fan of reading off screens. So those are my 5 main ways that I kind of take care of my mental health and what I like to do. Show you our new place we found, which is called Caffeine On, and then I'll wrap up the video. quite long, so I'll wrap it up. If you do what I do journaling wise with the stories, drop a comment below, or if you do anything else to do your, I know there's lots of other things to do, but anything you specifically do to like keep your mental health good during home ed, then drop it in the comments below. For now, it's ta-ta from me and ta-ta from the Rosie Bear.